Something walks above me every night. It came downstairs once. Every time I stay at my grandma's house, I hear someone walking upstairs. It always starts on one side of the room, casually walks to the other, and then stops. This usually happens twice a night. I didn't start hearing it until I was about 14, when my grandparents made me start sleeping in a different room on the first floor, because they began sleeping in separate bedrooms. Both of their rooms are also on the first floor. For some backstory, I've always been terrified of the upstairs in their house. I don't know why, but it's always freaked me out. I refuse to go up there alone, and I'm 23 now and still won't. There's one room in particular that scares me the most. It's long and narrow. When you open the door, there are closets on both sides, a bed in the middle of the room, and a window at the far end. Growing up, my grandparents told me that the sons of the previous owner claimed they saw a gorilla come out of the closet at night, dance around the room, and go back inside. I never thought much of it until I started sleeping in the room directly below that one. One night, all the lights were off and I was still awake, lying in bed. Then I heard it. It started at one end of the room upstairs, got closer, passed directly above me, and continued to the other end where it stopped. I was wide awake and absolutely terrified. There was no question in my mind that it was footsteps. I knew that slow, casual pace. I went to my grandpa's room and told him what I heard. He said the house was old and it creaks, but he turned the dining room light on so I'd feel safer. I went back to bed. Then it started again. This time it began near the window upstairs, walked over me again, and stopped at the door. 5 seconds later, I heard it coming down the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Silence at the landing. Then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 until it reached the first floor. I was frozen. Whatever it was on my floor now, and the dining room light didn't stop it. I stared at my doorway as my vision began to distort. I felt dizzy with fear and pulled the blankets over my head. Then I heard scratching inside my room. I knew exactly where it was coming from. My grandpa's gun case. Long scratches down the wooden door. I could hear it tapping lightly against the frame with each scrape. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. After forcing myself to breathe, I finally let out a loud scream. Within seconds, my grandpa was in my room. I was relieved, but he still didn't believe me. So I did what any normal person would do. I draped a sheet over the side of the bed and slept underneath it, wrapped myself tight in a comforter, put on headphones, and turned to my back to the door. There could have been a party of ghosts in my room and I wouldn't have known. The next morning, my grandpa told my grandma what happened. She laughed and said, "Oh, that's silly. No, your cousin woke me up the last time she stayed here saying she heard footsteps." I slept under the bed for the rest of that week. I've stayed there countless times since, and I still hear the footsteps. Every time, I sleep on top of the bed now, with my back to the door and headphones on. I haven't heard it come down the stairs again. But if it ever does, I don't want to know.